It's been nothing short of sensational.
As soon as he became the manager, he just had that instant respect of everyone.
As I sit here and look back at the 10 years, yeah, it's been unbelievable.
Come on then, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go in your office. What is that?
And that is Winston Churchill.
Oh, is it? Uncanny resemblance.
I got given that as a present.
Yeah.
The recent film I thought about him was unbelievable.
You once told me you recorded all your training sessions.
Still do.
Would that be in a big diary like that?
That's it. I mean, if you see how thick it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
Your own performances, how many times would you watch them back?
If I feel there's more to learn from the game, 3-4 times on average.
I think just before Eddie was appointed, it was very unstable, it was very unsure from a playing point of view. So yeah, it was a lot to do at that time, and you know, people weren't probably playing to their potential.
Is this an accident with Eddie?
There's no such things in life as accidents. I think there was very little or no choice. We had a young man who was extremely talented, who was Bournemouth through and through, and we didn't have to pay him. And I think that the fact that he was already on the staff and the club had very little or no funds, he was ideal. You can't be languishing 17 points in Division 2 and hope to recruit a serious manager.
Take me back, Darlington. Eddie's in the changing room for the first time with the teams.
I do remember it was a strange feeling. The emotions that I went through were extreme. I remember thinking, I don't really know how to act. You try to be yourself, you try and soak it all up. We lost the game, horrible feeling. And then suddenly I was on that journey of management.
It was a low feeling, but there was never, you know, there was never any anything but sort of positivity and reassurance, and you know, we can do this, and belief that he gave off. I think he realised the situation we're in, that the players needed help rather than anything sort of negative.
The future of the club was so in doubt that even if we hadn't got promotion to the Premier League, the club would have still followed on the next season and been in the league. There was no guarantee that was going to happen after the League Two season if we'd gone down. So I think that season, the pressure there was huge.
What was the click point at which he started to be the person that was going to lead Bournemouth out of the abyss, let's be honest?
Survival had to be the trigger. And once we'd survived, the man, you know, became the local hero, which he'd already been, you know, as a boy anyway. He had to take the job and take the job forward.
Promotion that day at Burton was probably the kick-start. You know, that was the first of the 3 promotions to the Premier League.
If you look at me whenever we've achieved anything, I'm not euphoric. I struggle with that. How do I act in that moment? Because it's just something you work so hard for, then you don't quite know how to release that emotion. For me, it's always then that my mind immediately goes on to the next challenge and then sets about trying to plot our way to do that.
I remember the following week, the last game of the season, we lost at Chesterfield in the last minute. We were already promoted, and he wasn't happy at all, like really not happy. And I think that was a sign of how high his standards were and still are.
Do you feel as though you belong amongst the elite now?
You know, I love being part of the Premier League and the challenge that brings. Do I feel I belong there? No, in the sense that I've not thought about it. I think the team belongs within the Premier League. I think it's really a beneficial thing to have that threat of your Premier League existence in the back of your minds, and that's going to continue to make sure we work hard and be the best we can be. We've done really well, I think, so far in our short Premier League existence to keep our core beliefs and core philosophies within our play, and are determined to protect them.
He is now the man that we wanted to appoint when he was appointed 10 years ago.
Have you got a contingency plan?
You know, if I'm honest, the contingency plan is Eddie Howe. I don't even know why I'm talking to you today, because what I should be saying is impossible to work with. He's had more luck than judgment. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. No, seriously, that's a better message to send out.
Yeah.
Any other Premier League managers listening today, or chairman, he's not for you.
Is the essential essence of you the same?
I want to be that same person that came in with the enthusiasm to improve players, the desire to tell the truth, the desire to be open and honest with the players. I don't want that to change, and I think if that does change, I've sort of got lost on the way, because my philosophy is very much to develop, to improve, whether that be a football level or a personal level. I think that's really important to him.